Thank you for attending this press conference on the economy. Our nation has been struggling economically, and currently we're treading in dangerous waters. But my administration has some solutions. So I wanted to field some questions and hopefully give you some peace of mind.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
MSNBC, sir. MSNBC.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, Art Harris, BaldTruthTV.com. When you took office, most Americans couldn't get loans to buy a house. They were hurting. They're still hurting and can't get loans now. What do you plan to do about that?
Well, look, it's true that it's tough to get a bank loan, but let's be clear. When I took office, 30% of Americans could get a bank loan. The other 70% were black. So I took some steps to change things. And if you look now, 70% of white people can't get a bank loan either.
Mr. President.
Mr. President. Sally Chang, Wall Street Journal. If Congress doesn't permanently fix the debt ceiling, Treasury could run out of money to pay our bills. Consumer confidence could go down, and unemployment might go higher. How do you think the majority of Americans will respond if they lose their jobs?
Look, it certainly doesn't feel good to lose a job. And I've seen all the job reports. One in particular is very staggering. Said that 35% of those that were polled said if they can't find a job in the next few months, they're going to have to move back to Mexico.
Mr. President, Jules Hudson, ABC News. Who have you been consulting with to spawn job creation?
Well, look, job creation is important, and you've got to consult the best in the business. So I flew in the top CEOs, and I told them I need more jobs in America. And they assured me that they would work on it. And then they flew back to China.
Mr. President, Lance Weems, MSNBC. You are a delicious specimen of manhood.
Is there a question in there?
Oh, no, that's it.
Mr. President, Lucius Carmichael Jackson, Washington Post. You recently shut down White House tours in order to save taxpayer dollars. Do you really think this was the best strategy to save the U.S. economy, or is this just more shameless propaganda by your administration?
So, first of all, I don't like your tone. I feel like you're attacking me, and that's a black-on-black crime. But to answer your little traitorous question, we did have one of my White House aides conduct the tours. And we later found out that that person was stealing some of the presidential antiques and then selling them on eBay. So I had Joe Biden get involved to fix the problem.
How did he fix it, Mr. President?
Well, first he had to stop stealing them, and then he had to stop selling them. John?
Mr. President, John Toe for Rare.us. More people are on food stamps now than ever before, but the middle class seemed hopeful they'd be out of such ugly circumstances when you took office. How did you get their support despite these awful statistics?
Well, look, we had the middle class vote from the onset. So we went after an uncharted demographic, the homeless voter.
And how did you get their support?
Well, we promised them change. And they're accustomed to begging for change. So the fact that we were offering it right off the bat, that was very attractive to them.
Mr. President, Tiffany Scher, AP. If we default on our debt, the number of people who may need to move into Section 8 homes could be staggering. Do you have any comforting words for the American people?
Sure. DJ Wiretap, give me some. American people face a challenge. The American economy is in peril. And unemployment is high, underemployment is high. The fact is, many Americans are going to have to go on to Section 8 housing. Rather than carry any degree of resentment or negativity, let me encourage the counter to that. I'm the leader of the free world, and I live in government housing. You don't hear me complaining. Neither should you. Thank you. Good night.